Back here at District 9 Football League Media Day, this time we are with the Wolverines of Sheffield High School. Guys, welcome. Thanks for stopping by, and looking forward to a new season of District 9 football.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Right out of the gate, obviously for you guys, it's always going to be numbers.
Yeah.
How are we looking so far this year?
Okay. Combined, both Abraxas and Sheffield will be between 32, 35 kids. So we're looking okay. We got a football program that can run offense versus defense, and but it's always a good thing.
And when you come back, obviously you guys had to kind of almost build completely brand new. You had the year off with the COVID and the co-op and all those kind of things. Obviously you took some lumps last year.
We did.
But then to come back and have the kind of numbers that you have coming out this year, it's got to be a positive for you guys going forward.
It is. Last year, our expectations were finish the football season and be competitive. We fell short of the competitiveness. But more importantly, the kids do to build a foundation. And to be honest with you, to set those three goals, we met, kids feel, we met two or three. We completed a football season and we laid a foundation. This year's about building on top of that foundation, moving some players around, getting a little bit more in depth with an offense, just not running a base offense and a base defense. We're looking to get into the football things. Last year, my first year after a 10-year hiatus, so relearning some of the ins and outs, and kids that haven't played on a football field for 2 years. So it's, did we get the W's? We did. To us, it was more important to reach these other goals, and that was complete a season, and build a foundation. These two here on both sides of me knew that last year, that the importance of building a foundation, so hopefully they can put some W's on the board their senior year.
I spaced. I got right into the interview. I forgot to have you guys introduce yourselves, so everybody knows who we are. So go ahead and tell everybody who you are.
My name is Gage Montacalush.
I'm Coach Mike Barr.
Matt Lobdell.
All right, guys. Now that we got the formalities out of the way, we can get back into it. For you guys as players, Coach talked about laying that foundation. Now that you've kind of got that laid, as a player, what are your expectations coming into this season?
I'd like to rattle off, a couple of wins. We laid the foundation next year. We weren't expecting anything, but this year I'm excited for this group of guys that are coming up. Actually having a team and making more of a team dynamic this year. He talked about laying the foundation, and I want to revamp, culture change. We had this stigma of, we're going to lose and lose and lose, but we're changing that this year. We're going with the mentality that we're competing every game as hard as we can, every single down, every single play.
Just like Gage said, new guys coming up and stuff, excited to see them, and want to put some W's on the board, score some points. Even if we lose, I like to see some points on the board. I don't like seeing 80-something to 0. I like it to see really close, even if we get the W or the loss.
You talk about getting some new players in. Through all your off-season summer workouts, who's the one guy right now that maybe nobody's talking about, but by mid-October everybody's going to know their name?
Boy, that's I would lean toward, there's two kids that are sticking in my mind right now. We know Gage is going to be a running back. We know Gage is going to be a hard-nosed runner. This one right here is one that may catch people off guard, because he most likely is transitioning off the line, just because we need him someplace else, and I do have some fillers at the line. So this one, I would say the one who has shocked me the most about his work that he's put in, and he wasn't even a starter last year, and I don't know these guys here, Andrew Kyler's he's running, he's lifting, he's putting the time in, he's got a goal. I'm not going to say what his goal is. These guys know what his goal is. His goal, I don't know. I mean, it's neat to see a kid take it upon himself to work as hard as he's working in this off season. I feel it'll pay dividends. So I'm not going to really say one, because they're all been. Gage has been putting work in, Colby's been putting work in, Dylan's been putting work in. Like the returners from last year, they're my mainstays on our open workout nights that are coming. You know, and you know, we did the Abraxas thing last week, and to be honest with you, they had 35 kids that wanted to come play for us. We were only allowed to take the 12 to 14, you know what I mean? But they're kids that just want to play football. I didn't see what I typically see, and I'm getting excited this year. So
is that one of those questions? I mean, you know, when you're in a co-op with Abraxas, you don't know who you're going to get from year to year. Is this maybe one of those questions where you might not be able to answer that question until camp starts?
Correct. And honestly, what I even told those kids last week down there, this was probably the toughest week I have seen since I've been a coach, and I'm talking about these last 2 years, the previous years with Bonavita and Norris and all those guys. This was tough this year, and I'm not saying we had any knockdown, lights out, Byron Drew type players of the old. We're more consistent athlete, more consistent players that I think are going to mesh great. So here's hoping. We don't see each other till Monday night. So,
and is that maybe more important? You know, like you said, having those kind of the consistent players as opposed to maybe, you know, one or two who are going to flash.
I do. You can coach against one or two kids. If you have a whole team that's consistent and moving, it's a little harder to coach against. And I do feel that this group of kids is going to mesh with our group of kids. It could be something. It could be something. We'll see. You know, I mean, you don't know until the passes are flying and the handoffs are being handed off. So.
You know, so obviously with District 9 did a little tinkering with the schedule this year. You know, what's the thing you guys are most looking forward to with this new schedule?
Being able to go against schools our size and not going against these big schools that we graduate like 30 in class, and not going against schools that graduate 100 to 150, and just going against somebody like more tuned to our level, and not going against these, you know, star teams that have 5-star athletes across the board.
Basically, same thing that Gage is saying. Like, kids our levels, kids our size, instead of like kids that are graduating with like over 100 and something kids.
For me as a coach, it's a mentality thing. These kids look at our schedule. They're looking at it now. They're not seeing the Keystones, the Red Banks, the Union AC Valleys that have always been a mind boggler for them. Oh, here we go. Those are great programs. I have respect for those programs, but for the kids not to see teams of that, I mean, we did play Red Bank on Wolverine Mountain. Red Bank finished second in the state. Right. Don't tell me that doesn't get these kids' heads, you know what I mean? So for me, in this thing, it's a mind thing. I think it bodes better for teams like us that are trying to rebuild. It helps with the mindset. It helps with the focus for practice week to week. Matt said it best, you know, we're going to be happy if we put points on the board and take that step in the right direction. Do we want the W's this year? We do. If we show signs of stepping in the right direction, that's still a win. You know, and again, I hate reverting back to last year, but it's what I got to revert back on. You know, 2 out of your 3 goals you accomplished, that's a win. We didn't win a game last year, but that was a win for our program. And that's what we need to keep doing, is stepping our program forward.
For you guys as players, you know, coming into year 2, what's the best part about playing for Coach Barr?
The best part of playing for him is definitely you get to be you, but like he gets you to buy in like instantly. He tells me his game plan. I'm like, oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait to go. It's just he gets you to buy in without having to like con you into doing it. It's I wouldn't want to play for anybody else, honestly.
Basically, his jokes and his presence in the town, like whenever I walk up on the football field and I see Coach Blair, I'm like, I want to get going.
And then on the flip side for you, what's the best part about coaching this team?
I mean, it's the kids and how they've responded that makes it so easy. You know, I'll tell it real quick. Gage, my first summer, so last summer, in the weight room, got these kids working out, and all these kids are telling me, you gotta get this Gage McElwish kid. You gotta get him. Well, he come walking in, they're like, Coach, that's him, that's him. I walked up to him, and his first words were, no, just no, I'm not playing, I'm not playing. Oh, okay, and I went back to these guys, and I'm like, what's up with that kid? I absolutely love this kid, I love these guys, and I love every one of these kids that are on this football team. They have, and it's not a hard sell, these kids want to play football. And the group text that we have going around, it's all about football, it's not about anything else. You know, it's the willingness to want to go. I get more texts from these guys saying, what can we do now? Can we do this? Than me saying, okay, fellas, it's time for open workouts. They're making it easy. They're making it easy. It's these guys here that are making it easy for me.
All right, last thing we got before we get out of here. Outside of health, outside of staying healthy, we can't say staying healthy, all right?
Okay.
Outside of health, what's going to be the biggest key for you guys to have a successful season?
Boy, I think it's just going to be getting to learn to me, the new stuff that we're implementing. Because again, we were very basic last year. We ran very base stuff. It's time to start ratcheting up a little bit more and getting that down. These guys, the Sheffield guys, have been doing it for 2 months. Getting the Abrastas kids up to speed and getting that mesh together, I think will be, that for me, that's it.
Yeah. You guys?
Meshing as a team and getting our mentality switched from what it was is just getting, focus on playing hard as we can. Like, oh, we're going into lose. It's getting the mentality fixed, meshing with these Braxis kids, which I believe we will do perfectly.
Basically, you need to have the mentality of winning and working as a family and not try to be enemies with each other.
All right, Sheffield Wolverines, District 9 Football Media Day. Getting after it at camp here in a couple weeks, and best of luck this season.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.